On this episode of Cape Media News, Dennis Yarmouth students get an important life lesson, a measure to expand moorings in Chatham on the table for Monday's town meeting, Barnstable considering a change in school start times. These stories and more, this is Cape Media News. This is Cape Media News, your local authentic newscast. I'm Sarah Colvin. We start today in the town of Barnstable. Following the advice of medical professionals who say teenagers need more sleep in order to be more productive, several Cape schools are looking at making a change to school start times. Studies say delayed start time is associated with improvements in mood, health, decision-making, and safety. The Barnstable School Committee has been taking a look at the issue for some time and now has issued recommendations for altering the school's start times. The Start Time Committee is recommending maintaining the current schedule for elementary school students, 9 a.m. to 3:35 p.m., adjusting Barnstable High School times to start later at 8:15 and run till 2:50, and to create two grade 4 through 7 schools at Barnstable Intermediate School and Barnstable United Elementary School. Those times will be adjusted to 7:20 start to 1:50 close. Two community forums designed to elicit feedback and input from residents are coming up later this month. The first will be held Wednesday, May 10th at 6. The second, Wednesday, May 17th. Both will be held in the junior-senior CAF at Barnstable High School. Up next, Dennis Yarmouth students get an important lesson.
Our lives changed back on January 11th, 2011, when Chloe was told that she had infant leukemia. At that time, she was given less than a 20% chance of making it from January to February. Because of Dana-Farber, their research, and the money raised at events like this, she's still here today, and she's riding today. She gets a little shy when it's her turn to say hi. But 8 rounds of chemotherapy later, a week of radiation, and a bone marrow transplant, and she's still here to see her 5th and her 6th birthday this September. So I'd like to say thank you to each and every one of you. For every dollar that's raised, especially through the PanMass Challenge, goes directly to the kids, the cancer research, and the families that it's affected, and I can tell you how much it's appreciated from the bottom of our hearts.
Hello, my name is Bill Goldsmith, and I'm the coordinator for the Cranberry Country PMC Kids Ride. Our 3rd annual ride will take place at Oak Point in Middleborough on Sunday, June 4th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Last year, we had 146 kids ride, and we raised $24,000 for the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute in Boston. 100% of all rider-raised donations goes to the Dana-Farber for cancer research, patient care, and family support services. After the ride, we'll have a pizza party with lots of fun activities for the riders and their families. For more information, please visit the website at the bottom of your screen. Please tell your family and friends, and I hope to see you there. Thank you.
An eye-opening scene at Dennis Yarmouth Regional High School this morning. CMN's Brianna Gustafson reports.
As prom season approaches, DY high school students got a first-hand look this morning at what could happen if they were involved in a drunk driving accident. Local police and fire rescue teamed up to simulate a drunk driving crash to open students' eyes.
I mean, it's better to have your parents yell at you and you being safe and getting home.
Students understand that it's better to be safe than sorry.
Hopefully nobody gets like too scared, but you know, I think we're all hoping for like at least a little bit of shock value because we want everybody to be safe.
What they don't see is afterwards when we have to speak to the parents and let them know that their child has passed away. So when they see a fellow student and if they really take something from it, is seeing a friend pass away from making a bad decision.
DY students now have the tools to help them stay safe during prom season. For Cape Media News, Brianna Gustafson.
Changing shorelines in Chatham are creating problems for local fishermen. Chatham's Aunt Lydia's Cove, adjacent to the harbor, provides mooring space for several deep draft fishing vessels. But shoaling is making parts of the harbor shallow and hard to navigate for those deeper draft vessels. This coming Monday, Chatham voters will meet for town meeting, and one article on the warrant calls for opening up a portion of Stage Harbor previously closed to moorings. The area would be specifically for fishermen who are displaced by the shoaling up of the old channel. The deeper draft boats need a place to moor, and Stage Harbor on the south side of town presents an opportunity.
Folks in town probably know the Chatham Bar is in a tough position right now. It's shoaling and it's not very navigable. And in fact, over the past year, several of our commercial fishing vessels have had a lot of trouble on the bar, either getting in or out. For the commercial fleet that fishes out of Aunt Lydia's Cove in Chatham Harbor, the amendment as written would restrict the use of those moorings on an as-needed basis for vessels that are permitted to have a mooring over in Aunt Lydia's Cove but are impacted by the shoaling on the bar. I would tend to believe that a compromise, if there is a conflict or the perception of a conflict, a compromise can be found. At the same time, I do know that there's probably 6 to 10 vessels that draw a significant amount of water and are having trouble working out of the harbor right now.
There's no clear sign that conditions in Aunt Lydia's Cove will improve. That's why Chatham voters are being asked to approve the amendment to the town's current mooring bylaw that'll find a place for displaced or potentially displaced vessels to have a place to operate out of the community. The bylaw amendment would add 10 to 12 moorings in Stage Harbor that fishermen could use on an as-needed basis. The moorings would be restricted to those who already hold permits in Aunt Lydia's Cove and whose spaces are impacted by shoaling on the bar. Chatham voters head to town meeting Monday, May 8th. They'll gather at Monomoy Middle School on Kroll Road at 6. Meanwhile, it's a Saturday session for Yarmouth voters. Town meeting begins at 9 tomorrow at Mattakees Middle School in Yarmouth. On the warrant, a $31 million request to fund the Dennis Yarmouth school system, $1.1 million in community preservation funds to pay for repairs to the Baxter Grist Mill, and a number of amendments to the town's sign code. Voters will also be asked to weigh in on a temporary moratorium on recreational marijuana establishments. Several Cape towns have voted in favor of a temporary ban on the retail sale of recreational marijuana. We have a link to the warrant online. Visit capemedia.org. Up next, the Mercy Otis Warren Cape Cod Woman of the Year has been named.
Cape Cod Cares for the Troops presents the 13th Annual Troops in the Spotlight 24-hour event. Sunday, May 28th. Opening ceremony is 11:30 a.m. at the Kmart Plaza in Hyannis. Support and honor our deployed troops, veterans, wounded warriors, and Gold Star heroes. Don't miss the 2 o'clock honor ceremony for Vietnam veterans. Take the Cape Flyer train. Free that day for all veterans. Donate supplies for care packages. Tons of activities for the whole family. Sunday, May 28th. For more, click CapeCod4theTroops.com.
The Mercy Otis Warren Cape Cod Woman of the Year Award is given annually to a Cape Cod woman who exemplifies the traits of leadership in the community and has made a significant contribution to the arts, education, business, community involvement, all while embracing the ideals of patriotism. This year's recipient is Dolores Holden Deleuze of Hyannis, an actor, storyteller, poet, singer, and songwriter, a knowledgeable chronicler of African American and Cape Verdean life and history on Cape Cod. Last year's recipient, Ann Williams, will present the award on June 5th. A ceremony is set to take place at Tales of Cape Cod. A two-wheeled tour will circle through the town of Barnstable this Sunday. The Tour de Barnstable, a 38-mile scenic bike ride that visits all 7 villages, will kick off at 8 Sunday morning at Azleton Park in Hyannis. The event is presented by the Greater Hyannis Chamber of Commerce, the Barnstable Land Trust, and Sea Sports Cyclery and Outdoor. It begins and ends at Azleton Park. Parts of the route follow the South Coast bike route on comfortable, quiet secondary roads. This anchor will be kicking off her bike season this Sunday. Visit semcsports.com to learn more and to register. Cape Cod Regional Technical High School students showed their stuff during the annual senior project display this Wednesday. Cape Media News was there. The result of a senior year full of hard work was on display at Cape Cod Regional Technical High School this Wednesday. Seniors showcased their projects, everything from metalwork to HVAC to irrigation, cosmetology, early childhood, robotics, engineering, and so much more.
Well, this is a teacher established initiative when I was a teacher. I've been in administration for over 10, 12 years now. So where we looked at the senior year and we didn't have a capstone project for kids in all of our technical programs, which combine a paper, a portfolio, a product, which you're seeing today, and then a presentation, which will be happening later this week. So we think this is the chance for the kids to brag, to show the skills they've learned over 4 years, and this is one of the most exciting days of the year.
I'm Megan Crosby, and I'm in early childhood education, and for my senior project, I built a puppet theater. The puppets themselves help the kids express their emotions because they don't really know how to do that yet. So it gives them a way to feel safe and express how they feel.
My name is Taylor Sheehan. I'm in the welding shop. I made a pyro board. So it's supposed to demonstrate the relationship between sound waves and sound pressure. So I'm going to be filling it with methane gas. I'm going to light it on top, and each hole will produce a flame, and it's called standing wave. And then you hook up the music to it, and the music will interfere with the gas inside, creating pockets of high pressure and low pressure, and that will create different size flames.
I'm Max Tremino. I'm in the HVAC shop. I put heating in my basement. This is the baseboard that I put in my basement. This is a mini representation of what I did in my basement.
So my name's Justin Dean. I'm in HVAC, and I installed a Mitsubishi ductless heat pump for the carpenters because they didn't have heat or AC in their shop. Yeah, which is no good.
My name is Matthew Fay, and I installed an irrigation system at my uncle's house. I installed 5 zones. They are on right now.
What I did was I created full metal roses out of sheet metal and rods, and I heated them and welded them together, and then I used pliers to bend them together, and I might sell them in the future.
My senior project was a book with some of my street photography documenting diversity, and so I pretty much just took pictures of people and then I quoted them.
I'm Shardmore Carter, number 14, and I built a bookshelf. Hi, I'm Alex Moroku, and I built a doghouse. My bookshelf, it was a hard process because I'm new to the school, so it was new for me to get things going, but I used conifer and deciduous wood to get things together. And then at first I painted my project purple, but then I decided to change it black with red polka dots.
My doghouse was hard because I had to do it sometimes at night, and so it's hard to see. So I used a lamp to see it, to like shine more light. And so I had to build it like frame by frame.
My name is Drew Silva. My project was framing my basement walls.
I built a drift trike. It was fun doing it, but I ended up crashing it 3 separate times. So it turned out to be more of a hassle than I thought it would be. You just put enough torque to the tires and it breaks them loose, and you just have fun drifting it.
Well, my senior project was wiring a shed. I basically installed lights, outlets, and switches, and a panel. I have my diagram of my project here, like the outline. And then I created this to represent work on live wires. With this, you have to take this, start from one end, and get to the other without touching that. It's kind of like operation.
My name's Samantha Getchell. I'm in early childhood education at Cape Cod Tech. And my senior project is called the Feely Box. It's for sensory processing disorder in children, and it's to kind of help them get the therapy that they need for it. People who don't have sensory processing disorder take in sensory information, and their brain makes those connections easily. Whereas a person who has sensory processing disorder can't make those connections very easily and sometimes not at all. So they can be over or underreactive to sensory.
My name is Morgan Gilbert Kopp. My project is the short film that I created in Adobe After Effects about the 7 deadly sins. It was quite a learning stretch for me because our shop, I'm in graphics, and our shop doesn't even touch base. It doesn't even touch Adobe After Effects or Adobe Premiere. So that's why I'm planning on taking classes at the Cape Cod Media Center.
The seniors spent the year developing and creating their projects, writing a paper, and presenting it to their teachers for judgment. They showed off to the public at the high school on Wednesday, May 3rd. Well, thank you for joining us for this Friday edition of Cape Media News. We'll be back Monday with a brand new show with Cape Media News. I'm Sarah Colvin.